Alright, today we're going to be getting started with WIX, and we're going to be creating your student websites. To begin with, you can go ahead and type in WIX, and we'll go ahead and find that on the internet. And you're going to need to sign up for an account. So it is a free website builder. I'm going to go here. And in WIX, we're going to go ahead and sign in. When you sign in, the easiest thing to do here is to go ahead and, let's say you're a new user and you're going to sign in with Google. So go ahead and press that, and it's going to be using all of your information from your Google account to sign up for your website. When you sign up for your website, you're going to need a few things to get started with your website. And I already have ones, but I'm going to go ahead and start with creating a brand new website. So if I go ahead and click the blue button, you're going to be clicking on blank templates. So all of these other templates are fantastic if you want to make a really quick, easy website. However, we're going to be making something on your own. These do possibly a little too much work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click a blank template. When you do click this, you have a couple of options here. You have some easy options to help. And to start out with, you're going to be starting from scratch. So you're going to be making this completely on your own. So you can go ahead and edit this one. So it's going to give you a little bit of time to set up your site. Now I know that starting this out might look a little bit daunting, and you might say, oh, I wish I would have been able to use one of those templates. However, this allows you so much more of getting exactly what you want instead of what somebody else made for you. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with some pages. You're going to need to add some pages to your project. So I'm going to go ahead and add my different pages. Notice that this first page is already titled your home page, and we're going to keep that your home page. Your other ones that you're going to start adding, we're going to add a page. And when you add a page, you'll see you'll have a couple of choices. You can kind of select some of these that are going to kind of go along with what you had in your plan. So before, if you had several pictures that you wanted, you can work on, this is a lot of information on here. I would probably start off with something here, and you can also do quite a bit of, or you can reorganize this whenever you get onto the site, so, or on the page. Let's go ahead and say OK. Instead of the About To, that's the template that I chose, or like the simple template, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call this what we titled our project. So this was abstract photography. So you'll see that I have abstract photography, and that's going to be that certain page's name. Now you're going to go ahead and need to add 4 more pages titling it the other items that we have for your project requirements. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and do. I now have all 6 of my pages ready to go, and I can start with my linking. You'll see that on each one of these pages they're pretty much the same. I believe I chose the same layout on each one of them for the picture. This one I did a little bit different. We're going to embed your information. It does, even though this is a completely on your own website, it does kind of help you out. Something that you can do on here if you want to kind of reorganize where you do your different things. There's a possibility of a subpage, but you don't want a subpage. That would be pages that are off your other pages, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and line them all up, get them in order. Each one of these, we're going to start off with your home page. After we have your home page, now what you're going to need to do is this home page does not have any access to any of the other pages. So what we're going to start off doing is adding some buttons in here. So you can go into your buttons, and we're going to make a button on here. So for my button, there are all kinds of different options. Let me go ahead and change the style. So this is my button, obviously, and with my button, I want to go ahead and I want to make this my abstract. So you're going to have to make a button that goes along with each one of your pages. You can change the style. It does not need to be the default button. Let's go ahead with making it a little bit more interesting. You can kind of play around with the background, you can play around with what it looks like, you can even play around with the shape of things. I'm going to stick with this one. Looks like a little sticky note. I'm going to say OK here. Say OK. Next up, we need to add a link. Where do I want this linked to? Well, as you can guess, I'm going to want this linked to my abstract photography page. So I'm going to have a page, and I'm going to go ahead and select abstract photography, and I'm going to say OK. Something else I want to go ahead and click, I want this abstract photography, I want this to be on all of my pages. That is a personal preference. You can have it on all your pages, or you can just have it on the abstract photography. It just matters how you want to be able to have people navigate around your page. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move this to where I kind of want it on my page. I'm going to go ahead and have my abstract photography right here. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and preview this. I want to see how it works and if it works at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and preview, and this is what my page looks like. This is my website so far. So I'm going to go ahead and hit abstract photography, and it should take me to my next page, which I applied it onto all of my pages. As you can see that it's going to be covering up my photo, so I need to put it somewhere else. Let's go back to the editor and let's go ahead and fix that. So on my editor I can kind of change this and play with it in different places. Something else you're going to need now that I'm on my abstract photography page, I can't go back to my home page at this point. Making all of your web page be dependent on the back arrow or the forward arrow is not acceptable. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another button, and on this button I'm going to make it my home page. And definitely on your home page one, you want to make sure that you have the home is applied to all of them. So I'm going to change my style here. I don't want that boring one. I wanted to go back to the one. You can make it interesting, you can make it the same. Now I have my home button, I have my abstract photography, and I did apply that to all of my different pages. So let's go ahead and preview that and see and make sure that this is working. So I have my home page. I'm going to go back home to my home page. This is my blank home page at this point. I'm also going to go to my abstract photography, and there's my abstract photography. Now as you can see, I'm going to need links to everything else, all of my other pages. Some other things that you can do on your home page, let's go back home. On my home page, if you're in this, if you're not on the preview, how you're going to navigate around your page is you can go to pages and click on my home page, and there we go. So what I'm expecting for you to do today, your expectations are to have all of your tabs or your buttons going to all of your different pages. At this point, I think I have all of my buttons working, so we're going to go ahead and see if that is all working. I don't have them lined up quite how I like. I do want you to notice that there are some purple lines that kind of show up, and those purple lines are helping you line things up. So if I have this over just a little bit and I want these in line, you'll notice if I bring it over, that purple line shows up and tries to help me guiding with where they are. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go to my preview. And on my preview, I can go to abstract photography. If I go to that page, you'll see abstract photography. I have the adaptive tools, animation, scratch game, and some of you might have noticed I have something wrong with my web page so far. My web page does not have the home button on it. So I'm going to go ahead and go back home, and the tab for the home button needs to be changed. Looks like I missed one important thing. So go through and kind of preview all of your website and make sure that it's completely working. You'll see on mine right now I have my button that's covered up, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. So make sure that you have everything that you need and you have your space and all your buttons organized how you would like them. When you are finished with all of your buttons and they're set up correctly, you're going to go ahead and save your web page today. When you save your web page, it's time to save your work and name your site. So you're going to go ahead and name your site. I titled it Mrs. Rao's webpage, and I'm going to go ahead and save now. At this time, you are not going to be publishing this at this point.